you guys, welcome to Sunshine Haze. I'm Aja A. As you see tarot cards on your screen, you know it is time for a new moon reading. This time around, this reading is going to cover the Libra lunar cycle. So we are talking mid-October to mid-November, which sounds mad like, hi Mooshi. I'm at my friend's house recording these videos and her cats are making appearances in my videos. Mooshi said, hey Geminis. This video is covering the Libra lunar cycle, talking mid-October to mid-November. And as I just said, this video is for Gemini, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, or Gemini Rising. So if you feel like what I'm saying in this video is not resonating with you, go on and check out your moon and or rising sign. Again, these are general readings, so they're not going to touch, you know, everybody's little heart and soul. And if it doesn't, a different video might, okay? I mean, if you want some more insight into what the Libra lunar energy means, like what we'll be dealing with as far as this next month goes, go on and check out my video on the new moon in Libra, and I do have a link down in the description box below, along with the link to those to the playlist with all of those moon and rising sign videos, all the other signs, I guess. All right, shuffle this deck for you. What are we going to do here today? Our typical 5-card new moon spread. Going to be looking at the energy for you guys, Gemini, coming in over this next month, mid-October to mid-November. Going to be looking at any crossing energies, and because we're dealing with Libra energy, your sister air sign, I'm going to be looking at where you can incorporate more love, more loving energy into your life, and then also where you can incorporate some balance into your life as well. You got a lot of water coming out for you. Where you can incorporate some balance, and then as always, I do a little soul message for you guys, something extra for you to take away with you from the reading, okay? Ooh, 5 of coins. Gemini, what's that about? Ooh, Gemini, you got the 5 of coins. What else you got there? The Queen of Swords, the Queen of Coins, and the 8 of Swords. So the 5 of Coins is a card that talks about, you know, material loss, guys. It's not really a good card to have popping up. I'm gonna be completely honest, and these 4 cards just kind of fell out of the deck. This card talks about something in the physical popping up for you, possibly related to your finances, or in your relationships or your health, or, you know, your career. Something coming up that kind of throws you for a loop and kind of makes things, it's a loss. This is the L card. So you might take a L in your finances and in your relationships, or you know, in your career or in your health or something like that. Something may be going on for you that is very depressing or makes you very sad, makes you feel like you've lost something. You've got the Queen of Swords underneath that, which the Queen of Swords is a card that talks about wisdom and having clarity and having knowledge and being able to rely on yourself through the things that you find out. So whatever this little 5 of coins is, it has something to do with some shit that you may have figured out, or some sort of message that came in. The Queen of Swords is a court card, so you may get some sort of information from somebody, an older or a more mature woman with air in her chart, or somebody who just exhibits these really, you know, philosophical, very, you know, balanced perspective type of views. You also have the Queen of Coins, which talks about, you know, being able to nurture your foundations and your relationships and your health, and making sure that, you know, the Queen of Coins is a card that is it's kind of I don't want to say a still energy, but it is it's a very grounded, a very stable, a very determined energy, but it's not like overbearing. But this is a card that talks about continuously putting in time and effort. So possibly, Gemini, you may have put a lot of time, effort, and emotion into whatever this is that you took an L in, and something may pop up for you that shows you like, this is why you're taking the L. This is not for you. You shouldn't even be dealing with this in the first place. Like, you weren't supposed to be kicking it here for that long. You weren't supposed to be doing this for this long. Very interesting that message is coming up. And the Eight of Swords is a card that talks about being mentally trapped. Doubting yourself, things seeming impossible, and then just also, this is a card that talks about being completely oblivious to the shit that's going on around you, especially if you have people telling you, like, you need to change this, you need to do that. This card talks about, oh, you're just like, fuck that shit. So basically, Gemini, and this is not your reading, you got the Five of Coins. You're about to take an L in something, or you're taking an L in something right now, and you may not be hip to it. Something may be going down that's about to shake your life up, and it's gonna make you sad. Like, you're gonna take an L in your relationships, your finances, your career, something of the sort. You've got the Queen of Swords here that talks about, you know, gaining clarity. So you're gonna take this L because you're not paying attention to the things that are really going on, Gemini. The Queen of Coins talks about, instead of paying attention, you're just continuing to devote your energy to whatever this is, this Five of Coins is, and you're completely blindsided by the fact that you're not even supposed to be doing that. So whatever you've got going on, Gemini, cut it loose. Let it go. Get rid of it. You're not supposed to be dealing with it. You're not supposed to be doing that. Oop. And you all know, what's my confirmation card? The High Priestess. So to the Geminis that feel like this message was resonating with you, guess what? I'm right. Whatever that situation was that I was talking about, you need to get yourself out of it. You need to start making moves to move away from it. This is my confirmation card. Whenever this card pops up, especially after I say something and I'm reading cards like that fall out the deck, that aren't placed in a spread for like specific things, and this High Priestess card comes up, oh baby, I'm onto something. I just want y'all to know. And look at what's at the bottom. The Tower. So whether you want to get out of that shit or not, whether you feel like you're able to remove yourself from whatever situation, or whether you feel like you're able to fix your finances, guess what? You don't really have the choice but to shift from that situation, pull yourself out of that relationship, or, you know, really get a grip on your health, just depending on what I was talking about, what resonated with you. And there's the Wheel of Fortune, guys. Cycles are coming up. Things are about to change for you. Some shit's about to go down. Some things are about to happen. And Gemini, guess what? You're underneath your sister air sign. So you're going to be affected by this moon. Okay, we're like 7 minutes in. I ain't even started your reading, but I'm going to tell you guys to start the video back at those cards, because I feel like that message was very, very important for somebody. I'm sitting here thinking, and boy, there it is. There it is again, the Eight of Swords. Why are you being completely clueless, Gemini? What's going on? Like, why are you blocking yourself from the truth, blocking yourself from clarity? We'll talk about that in a minute. Y'all are stressing me out. And there goes the Devil card. Y'all are stressing me out even more. And there goes the Two of Cups. Gemini, oh my gosh. Can y'all believe I was almost a Gemini? I don't know how I would have made it. I don't know, because this is crazy. This is crazy to me. No, I do love you, Geminis, but y'all are, I'm all water and earth, so a lot of times you guys' logic, I just can't understand it. I can't, and vice versa, same with me. Like, I have a Gemini brother, I have a Gemini I don't know if that's really my friend right now. And I know that sounds really shitty, but looking at y'all spread, you know. So you've got the Six of Water coming up at the heart of your spread, coming up in the position of the energy coming in for you, Gemini. And the Six of Water talks about striving to be better and also embracing healthy boundaries. So Gemini, you guys are air, and you guys are the air with the split personality. You push the boundaries, okay? You are always trying different things, trying new things, but because that's the energy that you put out, that's the energy that you call to you. So people also believe that as far as you are concerned, they can push the boundaries with you. They can do whatever they want with you. They can make you do whatever they want with them. This Six of Cups, and this is the cup suit, so that's the water element. We're talking about our relationships, our things that we love, things that we're emotionally invested in, spirituality, enlightenment, creation, creativity, all of that stuff, okay? The Six of Cups coming up as far as the energy goes means this next month for you underneath your sister air sign is going to be, or it should be, all about understanding what puts you in a bad space mentally and puts you in a bad space emotionally, and understanding where your boundaries are with that and creating boundaries. This month is going to be a lot about, it's going to be very reflective for you. We're underneath the Libra lunar cycle, but we've also got Venus, Libra's planet, retrograding in Scorpio and Libra. So a lot of things are going to come to the surface for you. You've got a lot of water energy here, and then you got the air energy coming in for you as well. So that is the moon and Libra. So this is very influential for you Geminis during this time. And what's going to be happening with that Venus retrograde and this Libra energy coming in, a lot of secrets, a lot of things are going to be coming to the surface, a lot of things that you may have suppressed, or things that you know you need to work on, you need to work through that you just don't want to, but you know they're there. Those things may be popping up for you during this time, and it's not to put you in a bad way, but it's to put you into a position to where you can start to see how you're letting people take advantage of you, how you're letting situations take advantage of you, and how you're kind of getting lost in the sauce, Gemini. Six of Cups, it says strive to be a better person. Strive to be better, and you can't be better if you don't have boundaries set up to where you don't allow people and situations to, you know, affect your perspective, affect your peace of mind, affect your physical health, affect, you know, the way that you're feeling and your emotions, you know what I'm saying? So this energy for you during this month from mid-October to mid-November, Gemini, you're supposed to be really taking the time to step back and reflect and think about the things that you're emotionally invested in and how you did not place boundaries, how you did not tell people or set up in situations to where, like I said, you weren't being taken advantage of, and to where you weren't allowing other people to like dictate anything that you do, or just anything like of that matter. Six of Water says you have to become better, and it's not become better for other people. This is literally in general for you. You have to become better, quote unquote, which means you have to get to a point to where you're comfortable with yourself and you're comfortable with your yeses and your nos, Gemini. You guys are air signs, so you're very free, and, you know, you can be loving. You're just very, you know, you don't have a lot of structure, if that makes sense, and that's not a bad thing, because you guys are very creative. You guys are air, so you carry your energy throughout, you know, just throughout, but you don't resonate with like earth energy, or you don't resonate with like, you know, fire energy, which is not earth, but like a lot to do with action. You guys are just more so all about ideas and getting things to happen through the way that you think about them happening. But with that being said, you don't have a lot of pushback when it comes to people trying to tell you what to do or taking advantage of you, or being consumed by certain situations, or like careers, or anything of the sort. Things that you get emotionally attached to, you kind of it looks like this card is saying you allow it to consume you, which makes you not who you really are, which makes you, I don't want to say less of a good person, but if you're not being true to yourself, if you're not being truly you or true to yourself, what are you really doing? Are you being a good person, or are you out here flexing? You know what I'm saying? Like, Six of Water, Gemini, strive to be better by way of keeping it real with yourself and placing boundaries and looking at yourself and reflecting on how you haven't placed boundaries, and taking the time to see how that's affected your life and seeing how you can correct it and how you can fix those things. You got the Six of Cups here, so this is a water card, so this has to do with your emotions. There's some healing that has to be done here, and that may be in regards to your past, that may be in regards to situations that you have going on around you now, or that could just be in regards to healing your mental and healing your heart, just in general, okay? Now, you got the Eight of Swords coming up, crossing you, and you guys had this card fall out earlier with those other 4 cards. The Eight of Swords, again, talking about a card that talks about oblivion. So Gemini, the message that I get again for you is that whatever you're putting yourself into, devoting your time and your energy into with this water energy, is not something that you're supposed to be doing. Like, it could be your career, it could be like a friendship that you're trying to hold on to, it could be a relationship that you're in, it could be like a spiritual perspective, or like a outlook on morality or something of the sort. But there's just something that you're doing right now, Gemini, that you're not supposed to be doing. And the Eight of Swords says, this has the swords energy, the mental energy. The Eight of Swords says you know that, but you're forcing yourself to be completely oblivious to the fact. You're kind of just saying, okay, I'm hip, but I don't really care. So we're just going to act like I don't know. We're just going to act like I have no idea that I'm not supposed to be trying to align myself with whatever, you know, has been going on or whatever I'm in. Like I say in a lot of my readings, there's divine timing. Things happen when they're supposed to happen, and they end when they're supposed to end. But a lot of times with our free will, we drag shit out. And when you drag shit out, you fuck up your life. So the Eight of Swords being your crossing energy, Gemini, is a warning card to you. You've got to stop playing clueless. You've got to start listening to the advice that's being given to you, especially if it's coming from multiple sources regarding your relationship, regarding your family matters, regarding, you know, the way you're looking at the world in regards to your spirituality, regarding, you know, what are you doing and what are you emotionally invested in. If people or you're seeing signs that are telling you, hey, this is not it, guess what, my G's, that ain't it. That ain't it. So why pretend like it is? The Eight of Swords is a crossing. Yes, Mushi. Mushi says that ain't it. Mushi said, listen, one more time for the people in the back. That ain't it. But you're acting like it is. You're pretending like it is because you want it to be, or because it may look good, or because you feel like it should be it. But the Eight of Swords, hey, Gemini, you got to stop playing clueless and get to the point to where you understand you've got healing to do, which means you need to cut some things out. Recognize where you were at fault. Set your boundaries and become better for yourself, if not become a better person, if not for yourself, okay? Now, on the side of where do you need to incorporate a little bit more love into your life, you've got the Devil card, which is interesting that this card comes up in the position of where you need to incorporate love, right? So this card talks about choices. This is coming up in the position of like what you need to bring in, and this card is all about making the right choice. And that is the right choice between indulgence and restraint. And this is also a card that talks about a loss of oneself. So whatever this situation is that you're like oblivious to, Gemini, it's very possible that you've been just consumed by the fact that you've put so much of this water energy into it, or this is what you felt loving water energy come from it. Again, whether that is a relationship or whether that is like a career or something that you're just emotionally invested in. You've put energy into it and you've received what you believe is the same energy back from it. But the Devil card coming up in this position is giving me another warning, Gemini, that whatever you're putting your energy into, whatever you've been putting your energy into, is actually taking you as far away from your true self as you could be. And that's something that you need to get a grip on. This also talks about codependency. So for those of you that are actually in relationships, this Devil card popping up is saying you need to take a break, G. Like, you need to stop. Like, people be like, oh, let's become one. Like, this card is like, let's not. And let's remember that you are an individual and you have your own mind and you have your own heart and you have your own spirit. So let's not pretend like you and old dude or old girl are the same person. Like, don't lose yourself in whatever you're giving your energy to. And this card also talks about limitations. So Gemini, you're restricted on the level of whatever type of situation you've gotten yourself into. and you've allowed yourself to believe is good for you, this is really fucking with you on a higher level. This is taking you as far away from your true self and as far away from your path as you could be. And this card also tells me that, Gemini, you're being presented opportunities to remove yourself from whatever this is, or remove your energy from whatever this is, but because you have this Eight of Swords energy crossing you during this time, it's like you almost can't. It's almost like you're kind of stuck, like you're blindsided, like you're literally under the spell. The devil is a heavy energy, and whatever you're involved in right now, Gemini, you really shouldn't be. And I'm sorry to say that, but you really shouldn't be. And this card talks about you staying there because it feels good. Because it feels good and you feel like you can depend on that situation. And maybe you can, but codependency is also a nasty drug. Like, that's the best way that I could put it. Like, when you lose your sense of self and you just begin to resonate as a part of something else, and that's different when you begin to resonate as a part of something else, but you still have your essence of your own soul, your own spirit. But when you lose sight of yourself and you lose your own essence and you allow that to be pulled away from you as you merge with whatever this situation or whatever this person is, it's not a good place to be, because it's hard to get out of shit like that. When you aren't yourself and you're stuck in some shit, it's hard to get out because you no longer understand that it's for your betterment. So if you ain't picked up on that message yet, Gemini, I hope that this message helps you pick up on it and understand that you need to start making some changes in your life. You have the Tower card, so it doesn't really matter whether you want to or not. It came out in the earlier. Whether you want to make these changes or not, you're going to have to. The Tower is going to come in and shake shit up for you. On this side, you've got where you can incorporate a little bit more balance. You've got the Two of Cups. So for a lot of you Geminis, what this card is telling me is that this situation is romantic, or you feel like this situation puts you into alignment with whatever you're supposed to be doing. This card talks about a very intense cosmic connection. So for those of you who are feeling like this resonates on a romantic, intimate level, this could be a situation in which you met a person and you felt extremely drawn, extremely pulled to them, like they were your soulmate. Something about that type of feeling could be very much so twin flame, or very much so karmic, and not necessarily soulmate. Your soulmate partnerships just feel a lot more comfortable. There's not always that extremely intense energy, but you do feel that it goes together. But with karmic and twin flame shits, like, you do get this crazy cosmic intense, oh, I'm connected to you, oh, I love you, our hearts, our souls are being pulled to each other. You do get that energy. This is in the position of where you need to create some balance. So this is telling me, Gemini, that a lot of you, we're talking about a romantic relationship here, and a lot of you have allowed this relationship to consume you. You've become codependent, and by doing so, you've not set any boundaries. And by not setting your boundaries and being consumed by this relationship or this love, and, losing sight of yourself, you are completely oblivious to this person's motives or to what is actually about to go down. Again, I said this could be twin flame or karmic, which means that this is not a forever thing, Gemini. So for those of you, and again, this is a general reading, so if what I'm saying is not resonating with you, don't hit the thumbs down button. Just go watch your moon or rising sign, or just leave the channel, please and thank you. But allowing yourself to be consumed by this energy and like I said, losing sight of yourself, and therefore for not setting any boundaries for yourself, and it's really got you into a place of just not being able to see clearly. Like, if you look at this card here, basically this person, there are things set up around this person. If he or she, I don't know if that's a girl or a boy in this photo, if they move their head any kind of way, it's kind of like they get nicked. So they keep their head down and in that one position so that they keep themselves safe. But this is not the time to where, and they're like, okay, well, since this is the only way that I can look, I'm gonna just assume that this is the way to go. That's not the way to go, Gemini. You've got a little bit of space in there to where you can shimmy out. Shimmy out. is my suggestion to you. I would, like, you got, to be real, you got some alarming cards coming up surrounding this situation. So this situation that you're in, or that you're dealing with, or that you're putting your energy into, Gemini, if I were you, I would snip on it right away. You've got the 3 of Water coming up in the soul message position. And this card talks about getting rid of unrealistic expectations, or freeing yourself from unrealistic expectations. So this coming up in your soul message position, I don't feel is that you are believing that things are supposed to be a certain way. I believe the influence of whatever the situation is sees you in a certain light, and now you feel pressured to live up to that certain light, Gemini. And that could be in a career that you feel like you were really excited about, or again, talking about romantic situations, could be that you're in a situation to where this person, especially if you become codependent, to where this person has you feeling like you've got to be this person and you have to always remain that person. And those are unrealistic expectations that you need to free yourself from. This 3 of Water card, I believe, Gemini, coming up in this spread for you is literally, hey, get ghost. Get out of there. Like, literally, this is the get out card. If I ain't never seen it in this spread, like, it's literally the message I get is like, you gotta go, you gotta roll, you gotta dip, or else shit is about to get wild. It's about to get really fucking crazy for you. The Devil and the 8 of Swords. And like I said, whether you want to or not, and I think the Tower card was coming up to say, Gemini, if you don't start making some changes, guess who will do it for you? The Tower card is gonna come in and make those changes for you, okay? So yeah, this one was a little intense. This one was a little rough, Geminis, but I do hope that, you know, these words reached some of you and can provide some insight, or maybe trigger getting you out of an unhealthy situation, or out of a place that's kind of like sucking the soul out of you, even though you thought it wouldn't at one point. You've got the 7 of Swords sitting at the bottom of the deck, Gemini, and that card talks about deceit, betrayal, loss, and, you know, taking a risk that's really questionable. So whatever this situation is, Gemini, you may have gone out on a limb, or you may have like done something drastic in regards to it, to maybe to the point to where you feel like it was so drastic that you just have to stay in it, or that, you know, you just did so much that you have to remain in it and that it'll just work out. But the 7 of Swords says, I don't know about any actions that you've taken in this situation, period, Gemini. So sit and think about these cards, especially if you listened all the way through. I would like for you to sit and think about your situation, sit and think about where you're emotionally invested or emotionally attached, and think about what is unhealthy, Gemini, and think about what is not serving you on a higher level. Where do you need to set boundaries? What do you need to snip on? Okay. I hope these cards provided you with some insight. I do hope that, you know, you guys are able to get through whatever is going on over there. You've got the Heaven and Earth card sitting on the bottom of this deck. So that is it's a little bit of a karmic message for you, especially for those of you dealing with karmic or twin flame situations. This card is coming up to say, like, things are all about cycles, and they're all about divine cycles. So the cycle that you're still in, Gemini, this card is almost kind of saying, like, you are wearing out your welcome in regards to that situation. Like, you and the other person, or that particular situation, you're wearing out your welcome. The glue that bought you and that person, or bought you to that situation, is you know, it's disintegrated. So be very mindful with your free will and with your actions, because if you remain in a cycle longer than you're supposed to, you're going to mess things up on a divine level for yourself, okay? Yeah, if you feel like you need a little bit more of an in-depth reading or a personal reading, you can book one with me through my Etsy shop. I think I need to, yeah, you can book one with me through my Etsy shop. I have a link down in the description box below if you are interested in figuring out what the Libra lunar cycle energy means for us in general. Go on and check out my video, link down in the description box below. I talked about Venus retrograde a little bit. I would suggest watching that video because it is intense, and it's going to affect us pretty heavily. If you like the video, go on and hit the little thumbs up button for me. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. I'm on my channel pretty much every day, and I'll respond so long as they're positive. If they're not positive, I'll probably just delete it, because Mercury is not in a fire sign right now, so I'm chilling. What else? Like, comment. If you have any, what is that? If you have any Gemini friends or people with Gemini placements in their charts, I would definitely go on and send this video to them, especially because there's a pretty important message in this one. You got the 7 of air falling out, which is actually the 7 of swords. So interesting that that was on the bottom of the deck for you, and this just flies out as I'm shuffling. There's the, like I said, I don't believe in coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. This card talks about really talks about our enlightenment and how it affects us. So this card flying out for you from this deck, Gemini, is telling me that right now your vision is a little clouded, and you've got to bring yourself back to a point to where you are truly enlightened, to where your third eye is open. This card talks about our beliefs and our spiritual beliefs helping ease us along towards or down the path of alignment. And this card popping out, flying out for you, I think Gemini is saying, hey, like, you've strayed, and you need to get back. You need to figure out, you need to get back to your true self, and you need to get back to your higher self, and then from there, go on and live your life, okay? What was I saying? Go on and share this video with any Gemini people or people with Gemini placements in their chart, or anybody, you know, cross-watching for their little Gemini boos. help them stalk their peoples. You guys share my videos all the time, and I do appreciate it. Speaking of, I'm like 76 subscribers away from having my channel monetized. And, you know, we are under the Libra lunar cycle, Libra solar cycle. We're also, having Venus retrograde in Scorpio and Libra, which has a lot to do with, you know, how we're making money and if we're doing something that we really, truly love. I truly love helping people and advising people in this way. Do you never text back?
I did text you back.
Oh, and my phone's on airplane mode. Yo, your Geminis are having a wild-ass Libra lunar cycle.
Oh, I'm sure they are. They deserve it.
You guys did not hear that. I'm gonna say like, comment, share. Oh, yes, subscribe. If you know anybody that is interested in astrology or tarot, like I was saying, this is what I truly love doing. I also, you know, am a filmmaker and a journalist, so trying to get to the point to where that is how I can live my life, and I would love you guys' support by sharing these videos and telling people, hey, subscribe, because she be on her shit. When I say like, comment, share, subscribe, I think that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time.